It's like this now. Yeah, but the other day, people who all the guys, white guys.
But you know,
like having production,
You can start the recording. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam. Alayam Karunalayam. Alayam Karunalayam. Namami Bhagavad Padam. Namami Bhagavad Padam. Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This opening prayer is from the Yajurveda, Krishna Yajurveda. It's called Shanti Mantra. Why is it called Shanti Mantra? Because it ends with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Every Veda, how many Vedas there are? Four. Yeah. And if we count the recension, Shukla Yajurveda and Krishna Yajurveda, that makes it 5. But generally we take Yajurveda as 1. So 4 Vedas. Every Veda has Shanti Mantra. Shanti Mantra is a mantra that prays for freedom from disturbance. 1, and a sense of well-being for the body and the mind, for everything to work together, and for me to be free. Me means the jiva, the individual, to be free from disturbances, so that one can embark upon the most important task. What is that? Study of the Veda. To study the Veda, we need if mosquitoes are biting, then obviously I'm busy scratching. So I'm not able to pay attention. Or mosquitoes are asleep, but then the mind is ultra awake. and engaged. Mind is biting from within. And so then also I am not able to focus. So the mantra is designed, the Shanti mantras, not that there are only 4 or 5 Shanti mantras, there are many Shanti mantras, but every Veda has one particular Shanti mantra. And the Shanti mantras are designed to be able to sit and do proper Shravana. So, and then pray for the body is an important part of Shravana. Why is the body important part? Huh? Because if there was no body, there will be nobody here to listen to. And that's why if one is a preta sharira means departed. Itaha means gone. Itaha means gone but will come back. Just gone out to get a drink of chai, but will come back. When you add pra plus itaha, it becomes pretaha, means not going to come back. Okay. Some kind of a disembodied entity might be there and has tivra ichha to study Vedanta, but how will they go in search of a guru? How will they go in search of an ashram? Not possible. So therefore, the body is an important vehicle for moksha, as we will keep seeing in the Bhagavad Gita and also Viveka Chudamani. We will be seeing all this. And so therefore, what do we do with this? The body, we keep it in good shape. The Shanti Mantra prays for the body to be intact, for the mind to be intact, and so that the teaching can go on. So this is a very special mantra, and it is used in the teaching situation more than many other mantras because it directly addresses the teaching situation. Saha now avatu. Avatu, protect. Now us both. Us both means what? So many people in the room? Teacher and student. There may be many people in the room, but then each person has a connection with the teaching and the teacher. So it's always one-on-one. Even though there may be 150 people or 1,000 people or lakhs of people, it is always one-on-one. So therefore, us both, meaning Shishya and teacher. Guru Shishya, then he, Saha, Bhagavan. Saha, ha, indeed. Saha, ha, now, avatu. May this Bhagavan protect us both. Why to protect? Because anything can happen. So, nobody should fall sick. Nobody should have a fall. Nobody should, everybody should be okay. And as long as the teacher is there, the knowledge continues. But without student, what is the teacher going to do? So the student also is an important part. The jignasa of the student, the desire on the part of the student. Moksho me bhuyat iti ichha. This is what is mumukshutvam. And so, let there be moksha for me. This kind of a prayer is extremely important, is very much in keeping with the quest, with the ultimate quest of stopping all other seekings. So therefore, I pray for the us both, means the teacher and student pray for protection from Bhagavan. Saha, ha, now, bhunaktu. Again, this is a prayer. Bhunaktu means nourishment for the body. The body and mind, let it be, continue to be nourished. And then the third saha is not saha and ha. No, it is saha, together. Together. Who is together? Teacher and student. Viryam karavavahai. Let us accomplish great things together. Viryam is just that sahasa, that enthusiastically let us accomplish great things together. What great things are we supposed to achieve? Exactly. That greatest thing is what? Knowledge. Self-knowledge, which leads to freedom from wanting, from being a person who's always complaining. And why is the person complaining? Because there is a sense of want, and the wanting person is the complaining person. When the wants are taken away, the complaints naturally die. Because the complaints are parasitically living on the wants. When the wants are resolved, then the complaints automatically die down. What other greater thing is there than to be a person, than to emerge from this course into a person who stops complaining? This is the greatest thing that one can achieve. And even though one may say, okay, this is what the student has achieved, but here it is together. Yes, together only we have achieved this. Together only the teaching situation and the transmission of the words of the Upanishad has ensured that there is a revolution in the vision of the student so that they stop complaining. This is very nice. This is the greatest thing. Saha viryam karvavahe. And then tejasvinau adhitam astu. Astu, let it be. Let there be. Let there be what? Tejasvinau adhitam. Adhitam means our studies. Now adhitam tejasvi astu. So let our studies be brilliant. This is how it's all just about that proper use of the intellect and freeing up the mind from all kinds of nonsensical worries, fears, pains, sorrows to which it just naturally goes and clings. Like Velcro. You know Velcro? Yeah, it's like that. So the mind has to be extracted from all that. Then only the studies can become brilliant. That is why when we look at Adi Shankara's, when we see Adi Shankara's works, then we see his Shishyas being as brilliant as he was. Sureshwaracharya writing commentary on Adi Shankara's works, and Adi Shankara and his students composing things together. All that becomes possible only when the heart is free of being burdened and carrying this burden that I have to do something in order to gain something that I do not have. That insecurity, when it goes, the teaching naturally becomes brilliant. Tejasvinau adhitam astu. Then there is a very intriguing line. What is the last line? Ma vidvishavahai. Ma vidvishavahai means, let us not, at least for the next 3 months, hate each other. But this is a strange directive. This is a strange prayer. This is a strange desire. Let us not hate each other means what? Why will the student who has come from so far to study, giving up so many things for the 3 months, why will they hate the teacher? Not possible. Because they have chosen this knowledge. And why will the teacher hate the student? Even that is also not possible. So what does this mean? May we not hate each other. Meaning, here it's not to be taken literally. Wish means to dislike, to hate. But here, the word hate is to be understood in the sense of misunderstanding. 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 That is possible. Why? Because the Shravanam is being done through the filters. What are the filters? So many notions. So many notions. God means it is like this. Vedanta means it should be like this. Self means it should be experienced. I need a Brahman experience. All these thoughts are there. Even after years of study. Any questions? Yes. What? I know I'm Brahman, but how to experience it? They will drag the E, okay? Because they want it to be forever. This is the question. So therefore, we have to be very, very clear about all this. We have to look and understand that in the teaching process, most of the time, what is there? I'm going to address that today, a part of the introduction to our study of the Bhagavad Gita. The na iti is the main thing. Na iti means it is not like this, it is not like this, it is not this, not this, not this. That is most of the teaching. Not this, not this, not this, not this. And then iti is 1/10. 9/10 is na iti, because there is a whole lot of infrastructure that I have already gained just from being born, just from living in the family, just from having parents, just from going to school and college. I have gained a whole lot of, what should I say, cobwebs in the head, excess baggage and cobwebs in the head. And so, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, what are they? They are vacuum cleaners, really. With special tools. Sometimes there is that one kind of a pipe, sometimes there is that flat tool, sometimes all these things. Different prakriyas in the Upanishad. Prakriyas means pedagogical tools, methodologies, are various tools to ferret out the dust and the cobwebs from hard to reach places. I look at the room and I think it's very clean until the electrician comes for some work, and then the cupboard has to be removed. The cupboard is removed, what do you find? A whole lot of dust where the cupboard was. In fact, even the feet of the cupboard are, what is that? Imprinted in the dust. This is how now we transfer this to the mind. In the mind means antahkarana. Inner instrument, mind, buddhi, everything is included. Chittam, all this we'll study in Tattva Bodha. So, various faculties of the mind are riddled with a lot of notions in the form of cobwebs. And I have to be in a place to allow this cleaning to happen. You can't engage the services of a cleaner when you go behind them and try to clean and tell them not to clean. Don't go here, don't go there, don't do this. Then they are not able to do their jobs. They will quit. They will say, you please take care of your house. Why did you engage me if you want to do everything on your own? And that too, you're doing a bad job. They will tell you that and then leave. So here, same thing. In the Antahkarana, there are all these gathered dust of notions, beliefs, ideologies, and all kinds of impressions gathered in this life or perhaps other lives also. We don't need to go into that, but this life itself is enough. So many things are there. So those things, what I do is I take care of that. I take care of that by being open for this vacuuming. If I shut the doors and say, not at home, I'm not going to allow this, then it's a problem. And if I open the door and then I allow the vacuuming to take place, but then I'm attached and identified with all those notions. And as soon as the vacuuming operation happens, na iti, you are not the body, you are not the mind, then fear comes. And what happens? The student shuts down because not ready for this or feels like, oh my God, everything is going, I can't handle this. So, therefore, ma vidvishavahe. So what happens when something is dear to you and somebody tries to take it away? What will you do? Look at them angrily, not just grab it back. Hey, how dare you? This is mine. Go away. So may one not say that to the teacher. These beliefs are mine. Why are you taking it? No, this is mine. Leave me alone. Therefore, ma vidvishavahai. And then there is a deeper meaning. This is one surface level meaning, important meaning. Ma vidvishavahai also means, may there not be some kind of a projection onto the teacher. May the teaching be free of projections. And this is contingent upon the last point I made. Nobody comes to the class as a blank slate, except perhaps in Sanskrit class. Yesterday I was blank slate. Today I am blank slate. Tomorrow I am blank slate. But in Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta classes, nobody is a blank slate. Everybody has some already ideas. Along with the ideologies and notions we discussed, there are also issues. You know the meaning of issues? Yeah. What is issues? Unresolved mommy issues, daddy issues. Basically, it goes back to the primary caregivers. Yes, it goes back to the primary caregivers. Always, because those were the formative things. Everybody will have them. Nothing wrong. But I have to be having the grace to recognize when these issues come and not just throw them on the teacher. This is why such a deep prayer it is. Ma vidvishavahai. May our studies be free of the apparition of projections. May our studies be free of all kinds of misunderstandings. And then finally what? Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. That two dots, Shantihi, that Visarga is not just there for decoration so that the Devaranagari will look nice. It has a purpose, it has a meaning, and when that one Visarga contacts another sibilant, which is Shakara, then Dvitvam happens, it doubles. So that Visarga is converted into the same sibilant. So we don't say Shanti, 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 or we don't say Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Shantish, Shantish, Shantihi. That is what. Why 3 times? Somebody said that's because the ancient Vedic people had lot of free time. That's why they kept saying Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Not true. That is not the idea at all. The sources of disturbance have been categorized into 3, generally speaking. So, one is the Ashanti. Ashanti means what? The disturbance coming from Adhi Daivika. Devam Adhikritya Tishtati. Adhideva. So, Adhidaivika means that which is centered on acts of God, over which I have no control. Like tsunami, floods, fires that they are having now. It's such terrible fires where? In Los Angeles, in America. Whole town has been burned down. Towns have gone. And so like that, over which we have very little or zero control. And then that is the first source of disturbance. We could be studying and then suddenly something happens, there is a big noise or the ceiling comes down, all these things. God forbid, let it not happen. Let there be Shanti, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika Shanti. Then everything is wonderful in the classroom, nothing bad is happening, but then I am still disturbed. Pray tell why. Why are you disturbed? Why are you distracted? Because I know why I came to the 3 months course. I can't for the life of me understand why my roommate is also in the course. They don't have adhikaritva. I know this because I've stayed with them for 2 nights or 3 nights now. Having spent 3 nights now, I know they don't have Shama, they don't have Dama, they don't have Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam, all these they don't have it at all. How they came? What they are going to get of Vedanta? Even if I look at them, they get angry. So, therefore, what? Therefore, the teacher has finished the teaching. Tattvamasi has come and unfolded itself and then gone. And then what? And for me, what am I doing? Worrying about the roommate, worrying about the classmate. And then in the process, whose loss it is? My own loss. It's not the loss of the other person, is fine. And so this is the Adi Bhautika Ashanti. I'm distracted by who's talking, who's this thing. Some phone rings it always happens. Oh, they told us to silence the phone. This person hasn't silenced the phone. How come they like this? As a result, my mind is not silent if I go to this. So whatever is happening, Bhautika means this Bhutani Adhikritya Tishtati, centered on the 5 elements and the elementals. We go to the 5 elements because everything has come from the 5 elements. So this is Adi Bhautika. Adi Bhautika Ashanti. Then, okay, that is also there. I happen to love my roommate. Everything is wonderful. They are very kind and I am not disturbed by anybody. It's such a good group of people. I can see we are all growing together already. It is so wonderful. But I can't focus. Why? There is some problem. What is the problem? I am distracted. Why are you distracted? Did I lock my room or not? That is the question. And they told, please lock your room. Even though this is an ashram, there are prowlers, there are all these things. And I don't know if I have locked my room or not. Whole hour I keep obsessing about whether the room is locked or unlocked. This is Adhyatmika Ashanti. Now, if we look at these Shantis carefully, the first one, can you change? No. Second one, can you change? Second one. You can't change your roommate, okay? Yeah, I'm not going to allow it. Yeah. So, second one also, you can't change. All right. Yeah. So, yeah. No, the source, I'm saying. Yeah. Second one, Adi Bhautika means centered on the surroundings. Can you change that? No. Can you change the phone ringing in the class? No. You can't change that. Third one, can you change? Yes. So basically, even Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika is what? Ultimately, Adhyatmika Ashanti only. Then why it is divided into 3? To make us feel a little better. So that otherwise it's always me who is to blame. Vedanta keeps one finger straight here all the time. Look at yourself. It can get relentless. So therefore, out of the kindness of the heart, the Shruti divides it into 3 so that we can get a little respite from self-belief. Okay. So now that we know the meaning of this prayer, let us chant it together with the feeling so that we are blessed by the effects of it. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now, continuing from yesterday, we saw yesterday, just to recap, that that the body of knowledge called Prasthanatraya. Prasthanatraya means the body of Shastric knowledge, which comprises the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma Sutra. And so, all this is what? So, this is there for who? The one who complains, and one who complains about complaining too much also, for this jiva, for this individual, to see the light, the truth of oneself as free of all fears, limitations, and encumbrances. This was the first thing we saw. The Bhagavad Gita is one of the Prasthanatraya, and then that is what we are going to be seeing in detail in this class, and in the morning class, we're going to be seeing the Upanishad. That is one thing we saw. Then, coming from that, logical corollary of that, we saw one more thing. And what was that? We saw how the individual, the I, has two kinds of ignorances. One is, I don't know something. I don't know myself. Ajnanam. Atma Ajnanam, I don't know myself. And then the second kind of ignorance, or you can't call it a second kind of ignorance, more like the spin-off of this ignorance. A sideshow of this ignorance is what? Therefore, I come to wrong conclusions about myself. This is the second problem. We also saw in the last class that animals have only type 1 of the problem. A dog doesn't know, oh, there is a spelling mistake in my name, it should be G-O-D. It doesn't know that, but it is fine. Yesterday I told you the story of the Anekatti dog, correct? Yeah. It's fine, doesn't blame anybody, doesn't do anything. It's perfectly fine, it's okay, it's open. So, this is all the animals when we see, they have only ajnana. It's only the human being, because of the free will. The free will is a blessing and a challenge simultaneously. It is a blessing because we are free. We can look for this freedom. I have free will, I'm not programmed, I'm not bound. This is a blessing. I have the freedom to desire. I have the freedom to attend a course like this. I have free will, which is a blessing. On the other hand, it's a challenge because it makes me free enough to come to wrong conclusions about the I. Such as, I am no good. I don't have confidence. I don't have this. I don't have that. This is the problem. This is what is the issue. This is the challenge. It is both a challenge and the blessing. And to illustrate this, we saw, what was the example we saw? Good morning. Yeah. What was the example we saw? Rope snake. Rope snake. So an unknown rope, a completely unknown rope, cannot be a cause for the projected snake. Supposing if it's pitch dark and there is a rope, will I have a projection? No, because I neither see rope nor see snake. If I don't see the rope, then I cannot see the snake. But you go during the day and you see the rope. A known rope, can it be cause for projection? No. A known rope is free of projection. A totally unknown rope is also what? Totally free of projections. The problem is in the partially seen, partially known rope, which is why very cleverly our Purvajas, all over the sages of yore, have put the example, located the example during twilight. You notice carefully. It will never be on the Amavasya night. No. It will never be on a no moon night. It will never be in broad daylight at noon. It will always be at that Sandhya, twilight, where I see something. Asti kashchit, something is there. What is this? I don't know. And therefore, the projections based on my own pravritti, meaning the desires which I seek actively by running towards them, pleasant situations and desires which I seek by running towards them, and nivritti, things that I am afraid of, things that I do not want and I run away from. So the approaching and avoidance, again, which are the blessings of free will, they also come into the picture here in the form of challenges. We saw all this yesterday. This is just a recap. So we saw how an unknown, in the same way, just like an unknown rope cannot be the cause of projection, an unknown I, a totally unknown I, how can I have projections based on the unknown I? Not at all possible. In the same way, a known I is also not a cause for what? Projections. Why? Because I know. Satchidananda Swarupoham, finished. It's this in between. Are you here? Yes, Abba, today timely answer came. I'm here, yes. That means what? It is no. But don't ask the next question, who are you? Who are you means tumbling down like a hurriedly what is, let's say some guests are coming. And then what do? You take all the things, put it in the first cupboard, closet, and you close the door. And the guest needs to use washroom. And they say, oh, is this your washroom? Everything falls. Like that. If you ask the question, who are you? Then all the notions which you have hurriedly put inside just comes out. Completely comes out. Pujya Swamiji used to say one very nice story, joke. So what he would say, go to a room full of men. Let's say there's a room full of men. And they don't see you, you just come from behind and say, Rama. Half of them say, yes, because it's a common Indian name. Whether in South India or North India, it's one of the most common names. Half of them will look up, he would say. Then you go back again after a few minutes and say, Krishna. Then what? The other half will look up because Krishna is also, Krishna Prasad, Krishna Murti, so many Krishnas are there, so little time. So Krishna is also a very common name. So maybe the other half will look up. Did you call me? Like that. Then you leave 15 minutes, go back there and say, idiot. Then what will happen? Everybody will look up. You must be calling me only. Why? This is what I call myself. This is what everybody calls me. This is what I call myself. This is the problem with the partially known I, which becomes a sitting duck for all kinds of wrong notions to come and accumulate. And this accumulation and the actions based on this accumulation is called samsara. This samsara is relentless because already I have wrong notions about myself, and then wherever I go, it's like living in a house of mirrors where whatever I see seems to reflect that in double, triple, quadruple times 100 measure. I cannot stand myself. This is why we need the teaching. And so the teaching about, now that was the recap, now we continue. So the teaching about the I, why can't I do it on my own? Why simply these gurus keep on trying to be relevant? They want to be employed. And so they keep on saying, without the teacher, the knowledge cannot take place. They keep on inserting themselves into the life of the student for no reason at all. Simply, why we have such wonderful translations of the Upanishad, starting from what was his name? Max Muller. From Max Muller, we have all these translations. We can read. We can read. Why do we need you? You are just trying to make yourself relevant and make yourself important. Yes, Guru's grace, Guru Mahima, Guru this, Guru that, Guru Stotram, so many things composed upon the Guru. Why? This is not needed at all. Let me just understand on my own. Then we say, yes, please try and understand. How will you understand? Just the way I understand all the things in the universe, in the same way I will understand myself. And this is what, through what we call the 5 sense organs. They have a collective name. That is the first means of knowledge I have. What is it called? Pramana. Pramayaha karanam pramanam. So pramanam means what? The means of knowing, ways of knowing. The first primary way of knowing is through sight. I saw it, it is there. I see it, sight. And then what else? Hearing. Sight, hearing. Come on, help.
Mananam.
Yeah, don't go mananam. We are talking of ways of knowing with regard to the sense organs. Yeah, hearing, then touching, smelling, and then tasting. This is what is called, together they are called pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means I have direct access to them at any time of the day. I can see, I can hear, I can deploy the sense organs. I am in charge. I am in control of the sense organs. I can deploy them to the places. Go there, get me the information. What is that noise? It sounds like a truck. And the organ of hearing as though goes, envelop itself around the sound and then brings the information back. Yes, it is a truck. Go there, there is some noise. Yes, it is a truck. So this is very important for me, because then if I'm planning to drive there, then I can be sure that there will be some kind of a traffic jam or something there. So I have to go carefully. I have to go at another time. This is how we lead our lives. See, you open the eyes, something is there to see. You see that. You cannot not see that. This is again a very important pramana. Supposing I hold the book like this and say, please see my face, don't see the book. Are you able to oblige? No. No matter how much Shraddha, devotion you may have towards this knowledge, you will not be able to oblige. Why? Because that's how the knowledge takes place. Eyes are a pramana, ears are a pramana, sense of taste is pramana. Sometimes the salt and sugar kept together, and sometimes the sugar is ground into a little bit of a coarse powder. How are you going to tell the difference? You have to taste. Then you are able to tell the difference. Similarly, on Bhandara days, as you will discover, if you haven't already, some nice frying smell will come. From that, you can deduce, is it gulab jamun? Is it puri? Is it jalebis? From the smell only you can tell. This is what is called pratyaksha pramana. Then we have a few other ways of knowing. This is the primary one, because based on this, all the other means of knowledge which we are going to list is going to be there. The second one is called inference. Parvato vanhiman means, look, the mountain is on fire. The mountain is very high. I look, I only see the mountain. I don't see the fire. How do I conclude that the mountain is on fire? I see what? Smoke. I never see the fire. I see the smoke. And an inference is born. And what is the nature of this inference? Yatra yatra dhumaha, tatra tatra vanhihi. wherever there is smoke, there is fire. This is a postulate. It is born. Why is it born? Because I have seen. I have had experience of wherever there is smoke, there is fire. Where? Pakashalayam, in the kitchen. When I regularly set things on fire, I find that whenever there is smoke, fire is sure to be there. Not the other way around. You cannot say wherever there is fire, there is smoke. May not be. But wherever there is smoke, there is fire. This is an inference, again based on pratyaksha, again based on my own experiences, but it is one step inference. I see the smoke and I deduce or infer the presence of the fire. This is in Sanskritam called anumana, anumanam. Anumiyate anena iti anumanam. What was the first one called? Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha, anumana. And then we have a very sophisticated way of understanding inference. This is just a simple inference. You wake up in the morning, all the roads are wet. What do you deduce? It must have rained. It's raining now. It's not raining now. But still I see that it must have rained. I don't come to the conclusion somebody must have taken a hose pipe and wet all the roads. That's not the conclusion I come to. Why? Because in the past, the association of everything getting wet in the presence of rain is known to me. This is a simple inference, one-step inference. In Sanskrit, in the Shastra, we have more than one-step inference. Multi-step inference called arthapattihi. So now we have what? Pratyaksha, anumana, and arthapattihi. Anyatha anupapattau. It's not possible any other way. Therefore, it is called arthapattihi, means this is the only conclusion I can come to. Oh, but this sounds complicated. It's not complicated. You use this every day in your life, especially if you're parents of teenagers. Where were you? The parents will ask. And the true aunt teenager who has been bad, who has done all kinds of things which they should not do, and they have gone to the movies instead of studying, what will they say? No, I was with so-and-so. I was studying in his house, her house. And what will the mother say? I already called her. You were not there. Oh, maybe at that time I was in the bathroom. You were not there. I called the mother of this person also. Where were you? You were not there. No, I just went to the shop to get something. I already called the shop. You were not there either. The shopkeeper is known to me. Where were you? You see, this is arthapatti. The parent becomes a sleuth, a private detective, free detective. And in this way, it's multi-step inference. In the medical field also, we have this. If it works on a guinea pig, it's neither from Guinea nor is it a pig. I just don't know what it is. It looks like a little furry thing. Yeah, it's not a pig, it's some kind of a mouse upon which all these prayogas, these experiments are made. So if it works on the pig, it will work on the human being. So many step inferences. Yes, 1 in a million will have a brain tumor, but don't worry about it. This is how the medical establishment is ready to tell us. Arthapattihi. Pratyaksha, anumana, arthapattihi. Then we have one more, which is called upama. Not what they give for breakfast, that is upma. This is upama. Upama means similarities, comparison. How does this means of knowledge work? It works by having one entity that is known and another entity that is completely unknown, but the one who knows both of them will explain the similarities between the two. There is a strange animal in India called Nilgai. Nilgai. What is this Nilgai blue cow? But actually, it's some kind of it's a very strong cow having like horse-like qualities, and the dewlap which the cow has, dewlap is that what is that? That hanging thing, yeah, triple chin or whatever it's called, is not there. Okay, so then if I explain this, it is kind of grayish in color. It looks like a cow, but it's much more svelte and strong, like a horse. If I tell this to you, and you know the cow, you know the horse, but you don't know Nilgai, when you see the Nilgai, you will say, yes, this is it. Correct? Yeah. So this is the Upama. Another example, on the way to Badrinath, there is one valley of flowers. Valley of flowers you haven't seen, but the flowers in somebody's garden you have seen. So you can say you multiply these garden flowers into 100, and that is the valley of flowers which people like to go. It blooms sometime in September, October. So that is, so one known entity with another unknown entity, certain comparison is made. So you recognize this unknown entity when you understand, when you see it or encounter it. Upama. Then we have a very special means of knowledge to be able to recognize something, the absence of something. Is there a book in my hand? No. Don't say, why? Don't say because it is here. Okay. Yeah. Why you say there is no book in the hand? Yeah, we can't see it. Not only we can't see it, we know book, but we don't see that book which I can see in my head, I don't see in your hand. The hand is empty of the book. There is no book in the hand. So this is called Anupalabdhi. Anupalabdhi is the fifth pramana. Anupalabdhi means that which is absent, not just generally absent. No. What is absent, I should know. And from where it is absent, I should know. It should answer two questions. What and where? The book is not in my hand, it could be on the desk, it could be elsewhere. That is one thing. And then the what should be clear. So Anupalabdhi is the fifth pramana. This comprises the gamut of all the ways I have. I means the ahankara, the ego, the I notion has of knowing things in the universe. I infer, even if the bell doesn't ring, I infer it must be lunchtime and they forgot to ring the bell. Why? Because everybody is going towards the hall, the eating hall, the dining hall. So I say, oh, today they are late in ringing the bell. I can also go because it's past the time. I infer even without looking at the time. I can infer. I use Anupalabdhi all the time. I use Upama. I use Pratyaksha, of course, all the time. Now, very big $1 million question. What is that? Which one of these pramanas will you use to know the Atma? Pratyaksha? I see the Atma? No. Why? Because whatever you see is not Atma. Okay? Yeah. This much we have to write it down and memorize it. Whatever I see is not Atma. Okay, I can hear. Some people say this. They make a lot of money also talking like this. There is one special sound. It is called anahata sound. Anahata means unheard. Unheard sound. And when you hear it, Atma is talking. Pujya Swamiji would always say, and how do you hear it? Well, when you are in deep state of meditation, the sound of the unheard sound will sound. And that is Atma saying hello. Pujya Swamiji would always say, if any kind of sound comes in meditation, That means it is gastric juices adjusting themselves. Gudu gudu gudu, guru guru guru. That's all it is. It's various gastric juices adjusting themselves. Why? Because you haven't eaten in a while. That's all it is. So not anything else. Atma is not subject to hearing. Ashrotram. Then no form, avarnam. You can't see. It doesn't have a form, you can't see, it doesn't make a sound, you cannot hear. Neither, and the same thing you can say, I can't smell, I can't, whatever you smell is not the Atma. Oh, but I can taste. I went to some interfaith meeting. This is what you have to sit through. This is called occupational hazards of being a Swami. So here I am sitting and the person next to me on the panel says, I have tasted Brahman. Brahman means Atma. Brahman is I. There is no Brahman without being Atma. Tasted Brahman. Brahma rasam. The taste of Brahman comes drip, drip, drip from the head. No, he didn't say head. That is what we will say. Sahasrara chakra. From inside it drips to the back of the throat. And it's this indescribable taste. It is so wonderful. It can only be experienced. In my mind, I thought you should go see the doctor. It could be cerebrospinal fluid leaking. Yeah. Sometimes it happens when you have surgery or a stroke or something like that. Oh, you can't taste Atma, okay? Whatever you taste is not Atma. Anatma. Not Atma means Anatma. So that, can we cross out Pratyaksha? Yes. Pratyaksha, useless to know the Atma. Oh, somebody said, I can infer the Atma. How are you going to infer the Atma? One philosopher, French philosopher said, I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am. So in sleep, is this fellow thinking or not? No, no thoughts in sleep. Does he cease to exist? No. Whoever said yes, see me after class. He doesn't cease to exist. He's still there because he wakes up and repeats again, I think, therefore I am. This is the problem when you put day cart before day horse. Okay, this is what happens. Yeah. So his name was Descartes. So thankfully, before the end of his life, he reversed himself. He reversed himself and he was able to say, I am, therefore I can think. Thought does not precede my existence. Thought succeeds. I have to be there in order to think. And so inference is not a way. I can't infer the Atma or the nature of the Atma. I cannot do that at all. Then what else is left? Arthapati, yeah. So inference includes both. One step, yeah. Upama, this is a very important one. I can compare the Atma to what? Nothing is there. Nothing similar to Atma. Nothing like the Atma, nothing unlike the Atma. All there is the Atma. In fact, everything that you want to compare to the Atma has come as though from the Atma alone. So really, Atma is beyond comparison. Poor Vedanta poets have a hard time. They can only compare Atma to space. It is like space, they say, or it's like the sun which lights up everything, they say. Other than these two kind of even insufficient, inconclusive metaphors, there is nothing. Nothing to compare it to. Why? Because for comparison, you need two entities. How many Atmas are there? The last time we checked, only one. There is no jati. Same jati should be there of two things. Therefore, I can say, I want to compare these two, the plus and minus points, for example. But here, there is only one. You can't use upama. Or kya bacha hai? What else is left? Anupalabdhi. Atma is not there, let us say. We saw that yesterday. Can you say with a straight face, Atma is not there? Who is saying? Atma. So therefore, you can't negate yourself. So there goes all the gamut of everything that you operate, all the means of knowledge that you have in your hands to operate is denied. It cannot have a way to know the I. The I is not, cannot be known. It must be known. Why? Because there is a lot of problems here. I do not know who I am. I do not know what to do. And so therefore, I have to understand this, but I don't know how to know. One is helpless. And here, there is also one more problem, kartra karma virodha, a contradiction between the subject and the object. Who am I? Subject. What do I need to know? Myself. So what am I when I'm the object of knowledge and I'm also the subject of knowledge? How can the two be one? You can't. You can't do that. There is already a contradiction. Somebody said there is no contradiction. Why? I can scratch. See? Who is the one who is itching? Me. Who is the one who is scratching? Me. This doesn't work. This only works because I have parts. Left hand, right hand. How many hands Atma has? Let me see a show of hands. No hands. Atma has no hands, no legs. Apani padam. No hands, no legs, no parts. Since it has no parts, since it happens to be me, I need one more pramana. And that is what Vedanta is. I need another way of knowing because all these means of knowledge are of no use at all for me. I am totally and utterly helpless. And even if I try to know, what will happen is that I will think I know, but whatever I know is not that what I want to know. I'll end up thinking something. It's like the blind people, 5 blind people touching the elephant. One says, oh, it's like a big fan because the person was near the ears. One says, no, it's like a little brush because they were near the tail. One says it's like a pillar. The other one says it's like a snake, like this. Different conclusions. I will keep belaboring these conclusions because I do not have an adequate way of understanding the I. And to understand the nature of the I, a special pramana is there, which is called Shastra pramana, Shabda pramana. Shabda means it's in the form of words. Words. Words, I might add, handled by the teacher who has been exposed and transformed by that pramana because of his teacher, because of her teacher, because of his teacher, like that, all the way to Sadashiva. Bhagavad. Bhagavan is the first teacher. After that, all the teachers who have come have blessed this knowledge by teaching what they heard from their teachers. Nothing is original here. Nothing is original. It's all, we are all copycats of the Guru. That's all we are. We are copycats. And that is where the brilliance of this teaching is. That is why we can say it's an unbroken line. Swamiji also said this in the morning class. If anybody says, I got this knowledge by myself, don't go to that person. Tell them, enjoy it, keep it with you. I gained this knowledge by myself, apne aap. Yes, keep it with you, enjoy. Don't give it to me, you have to say. Because there is something about this knowledge being tried, being tested, and then all the other people before me have gained this knowledge. Therefore, there is the confidence that I will gain it too. So this is Shastra pramana or Shabda pramana. And in the whole Veda, whether it's the first portion or the second portion, and I'll talk about that also presently, the first portion or the second portion, both of them are what? Shabda pramana. Totality, you take it. Shabda pramana. And for it to qualify as a pramana, it has to fulfill 3 conditions. That which is a means of knowledge has to justify its existence by fulfilling three conditions. The first one is that whatever it reveals should not be revealed by any other means of knowledge, otherwise it will become a duplicate. So, for example, to see form and color, to appreciate form and color, what do I have? Eyes. Supposing I have a red rose in my hand. Supposing I cannot see due to cataracts or some other problem, I cannot see. Can I take it near my ear to find out what color and what size it is? No. Each pramana, therefore, is a king in its own realm. It's the reigning king in its own realm. And then, therefore, what? So, therefore, it cannot be toppled by another pramana. Each pramana has its own reign, its own kingdom. It cannot be contradicted or toppled over by another pramana. So, therefore, that is anadhigatam. Anadhigatam is the first condition. Whatever the pramana reveals should not be available to any other source or means of knowledge. Then the second one is that it should be meaningful. It should be meaningful. It should be helpful in my life. It should be meaningful. Like, I see that there is an obstruction. That's meaningful. So that means I can go a different way. I can avoid the obstruction. I don't have to crash headlong into the obstruction. This is very good. It should be meaningful. Arthavat, second one. Anadhigata, arthavat. Third one, whatever it promises, it should deliver. Phalabodhakam, it should deliver. Whatever is the consequence of using the pramana, it should deliver. The proof, they say, what do they say that? Is in the pudding. So in the same way, if I operate the pramana, I open my eyes, sight should take place. If the sight is not taking place, then there may be a problem. It could be with the adhibhautika. For example, there is, what is that called? Fog. Fog is there, I can't see, or it could be some kind of a brain fog because of which I can't see. Fog exists in many places, as we have seen from the trendy words we use these days, brain fog. So it could be because my mind is distracted, I'm not seeing, or there is some obstruction, I'm not seeing. So therefore, it should, when the eyes are open, barring these conditions, I should be able to see. Sight should take place. Hearing takes place. Sight takes place. Automatically, whatever the pramana is revelatory in nature, whatever it's supposed to reveal, it should reveal immediately. That is what is phalabodhakam, because it does its job. And so now Vedanta is also a pramana. Why is Vedanta a pramana? Because it is Veda, Vedanta are what? Anadhigatam, not available for any other means of knowledge. And the Veda is divided into two portions. The first portion is called Karma portion, Karma Kanda. The second portion is called Jnana portion, Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. First portion and second portion. Both of them are pramana. First portion also, that there is a heaven. How do I know? Veda tells it is a pramana, therefore. And how do I go there? If I do lot of punya karma, the punya becomes the currency, like traveler's checks, which takes me there, where I can spend. And after spending all the money in a foreign country, what happens? You have to come back. Similarly, Kshine Punye, the Bhagavad Gita is going to tell, Martya Lokam Vishanti. Having spent all the punya, one comes back to the world of mortals. That's why every newborn baby cries, because maybe it was in a Urvashi dance concert. Who knows? And so, like this, the pramana delivers because it tells us things that we don't know. And if you do this particular ritual, you will go to this particular place, this particular realm of heaven. We have 7 up, 7 down. 14 kinds of lokas are there. So if you want to go to Satya Loka, which is Brahma Loka, you have to do lot of meditation, upasana, and lot of karma also. Karma means the fire rituals. You keep putting the ghee. Even in sleep, you will be keeping on doing this, because that's what you're doing all the waking moments of your life. And so you keep doing this, and then you will go to Brahmaloka. What happens in Brahmaloka? Teaching happens. That's the only loka where teaching happens. So, but what's the difference? Lord Brahmaji is the teacher. And what does Brahmaji do? Come, let us study. Oh, wonderful, Brahmaji is going to teach me. Okay. I got a place to sit in the front, all that karma and the repetitive stress injury of the shoulder, keeping on putting ghee in what's that, millions of yajnas paid off. I'm here. Wonderful. What are we studying? Bhagavad Gita. Then you say, oh, without any ayasa, this was being given in what? Swami Dayanand Ashram. So, like this, there is different ways. Wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, every desire to fulfill, there is one ritual, some kind of a chant, some kind of mantra. So many prayers for health, prayers for wealth. All this comprises the first portion. Why? Why don't we begin with who am I? Because even the ability to ask that question, what is the nature of myself, for that one has to have some maturity. The emotional maturity comes from following dharma, which is initiated by the first portion of the Veda. It converts all your desires into prayer. Amazing it is. It doesn't say don't have desires. Please have as many desires. Strange desires are there. I should succeed. Okay. There is a, what is that called? Yajna for success. That's not enough. I should succeed, but this other fellow should fail. One more thing is there. All that is in the Atharva Veda. That's why we don't go too much into Atharva Veda. We only look at the Upanishads coming from the Atharva Veda, not the mantras. I should succeed, but you should not. This is not, this is not dharma. But all those feelings and thoughts are there. And in response to the thoughts, the incantations and the rituals are given. But instead of plotting the person's demise, what am I doing? Praying. That's what it converts every desire into prayer, so that I walk on the path of righteousness. And then for the one who walks on the path of righteousness, the reward comes in 2 ways. One is through pleasant situations in the here and the hereafter, through the punya. And then the other way in which the reward comes is how? Making oneself ready for asking the questions. Is the whole life a series of desire fulfillments, or is there anything more? For that person, Vedanta speaks. That also is a pramana. Now there is a difference between Shabda Pramana, which is the Veda, and all the other pramanas. One big difference is there. What is the difference? A glaring difference is that all the other pramanas that we have discussed, I operate. Me. I am the one who sees. I am the hearer. I am the taster. Don't say I'm the smeller, because that gives a wrong idea. Yeah. I'm the one who picks up the smells. I'm the one who tastes. I'm the one who hears. I'm the one who sees. Seer. Remember, we talked about the ER. Yeah. I am that who does this. I'm the agent of action. This is what in the operation of all the pramanas, it does not knock off or does not question my being the agent of action. Shabda pramana, when it is operated, that is the main thing that is questioned. The sense of agency is knocked off. The sense of agency itself is knocked off because this pramana I don't operate. It is operated for me, not by me. It is operated for me by the Guru, by the teacher. And that's why in the Guru Stotram, very beautiful, what does it say? Ajnana timirandhasya jnana anjana shalakaya chakshurun militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namaskar unto that Mahatma, the Guru. And what did this Guru do? The Guru turned into doctor. Why? Took the scalpel of knowledge and removed the cataract of my vision. A vision that was just entrenched in division, completely was removed by the operation of this pramana in the form of the giving of the knowledge. And that is why this knowledge is so scary. That is why there is Guru allergy. As soon as you hear the word Guru, rashes come. Oh no, what is happening? That is why there is a fear, because the fear is of letting go, because the pramana is going to be operated for me. I am not in charge. And how many people like not being in charge? Nobody. Everybody wants to be in charge. But here, you're supposed to let go. And just like you are letting go and allowing this pramana to operate upon you. How to do that, we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.